This is our race car, and this is one of the many spring options we have for that car. So when we're picking springs, we first are going to consider the parameters around the car and then the characteristics of the spring. Let's first think about the weight of the race car and how that weight is split between the 4 tires on the race car. Each tire is going to support some of the weight on the race car, and your spring package is going to help determine how that weight is carried and then transferred when you're on the racetrack through acceleration, braking, and turning. So as we talk about weight transfer, we also need to consider travel, and this is where dirt cars get fun because they travel a lot, especially compared to a road race car that travels very little. So when we think about travel, this 150-pound Landrum spring and this 300-pound Landrum spring are going to give you very different results, right? If we put 450 pounds of load on this 150-pound spring, it's going to travel 3 inches. If we put that same 450 pounds of load on this 300 spring, we're only going to get 1.5 inches of travel. So knowing what you want for travel is going to help determine where your kind of spring rate range is, along with your static ride heights and your corner weights. So we started with our corner weights, our total weight of the car. Now we're going to talk about our sprung weight and unsprung weight. So our sprung weight is the weight of the car carried by the springs. Our unsprung weight is all the stuff outside that's not carried directly by the springs. Your brakes, your hubs, your wheels, and tires. Cars with a higher unsprung weight are going to require a higher spring rate to account for that higher unsprung weight. Okay, so there's one more concept we're going to cover in this quick video, which is our wheel rate and our spring rate. Our wheel rate is the load seen at the wheel versus the load seen at the spring. And these are not always the same. And that's because of our motion ratio. So our motion ratio is how much the wheel moves in relation to how much the spring moves. We can find our wheel rate by taking our spring rate times our motion ratio squared. Basically, wheel rate is the effective stiffness of your suspension at your wheel and tire. So there's a lot that goes into picking the springs for your race car, but there's a lot of resources too. Landrum Springs website has a really good technical section where you can learn about spring and spring characteristics as well as basic setups. And of course, your chassis builder or your shock guy, great places to get information from.